connected. Awesome. While we wait. What are we gonna do today? We're gonna do some cool stuff. We're gonna talk about what we're gonna be doing like throughout. We have 5 weeks of lessons to do. I found out last night how the timetable is gonna work. So we have five lessons. So we're gonna talk today about what we're doing today, obviously, and then what we're gonna be doing for the next 4 weeks after this week. And we're gonna work on what it means to be a leader, responsibilities, and if you guys want, we'll go over the application and stuff. 15 people in that one, counting myself. So 14 people. I don't know how many people will be able to make it. No one's currently in the Zoom meeting. Not that I'm aware of. I think he's still probably in the production hall. I don't know what you want to call it. So just so you guys know, I have to admit people. That's going to be bad. Okay, so just so you guys know, this is recording because leadership lessons are only offered once a week and at only one time. I'm not going to hold anyone accountable for like not being able to make it because everyone's on strict schedule. So I'm recording the meeting. So anyone who still wants to learn what we learn here can learn it on their own time when they have free time. And then when everyone gets here who's going to get here, I'm going to take a picture of all of you for contact tracing reasons. Hi, Oscar. We're going to give 5 more minutes for other people to show up.
There's a lot less people here last year.
Yeah. Same for drum major lessons too.
How many do you have drum major lessons?
3, counting Reagan. Hi, Reagan. Are you at work right now? Is that at Case? Yeah. I still have. I'm gonna wait for like 5 more minutes because 4:30 is actually very close time for school. I didn't realize that. We're just gonna wait.
You said this all over yourself, or like did the director talk to you?
I set everything up. I just told them, like, hey, I want to set these up. What are good days and times? They told me no mornings were available. And then I had 3 days after school I could pick for lessons, which was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I was like, nobody wants to stay after school on Fridays. I'm not going to make them do that. So I just made it Tuesday and Wednesday. Could you sit on the purple tape?
There you go. Come on, baby.
Small tape.
How are you gonna be in leadership with that? Not even sitting on the purple tape. Drop them.
You guys can talk to each other. You get acquainted and stuff.
No.
I'll sit here and watch.
we've known these since like elementary.
Why would you need to? So, did you say you were swimming? You're sore from work. What do you do?
Yesterday was leg day, so I've been leg press and I did like 300 pull down.
Whoa.
And
I lift 15 pounds on each arm. Regularly.
I just got out of my practice. We did this really bad conditioning drill that everybody hates at the swim practice because we have like a lot of people like failing this first couple of weeks. It was pretty bad, but whatever.
I used to run a lot, and then I was like, I'm going to be a drum major. I need to lift weights. So I switched from mostly stamina workouts to weight workouts or exercises.
We went from sprinter mass to bodybuilder now.
Dolly, are you still on soccer?
No, I didn't have to test it.
Makes me happy.
The coaches are always like, you have to do but it gets
So much really bad.
well, most of the freshman year, I do
Oh yeah.
Did y'all hear that next year's gonna be another state year? That like the board meeting passed that?
Yeah, I was looking at that too. I was like, let's believe.
Which is great.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
I want some. Okay, I want.
I want to come back whenever you guys do the headline. You're not allowed to do that without me. I loved that show concept.
There's some.
Even though we
And
were
wait, I want like something like
that show.
out of
And then it wasn't because it couldn't be. I'm so sad.
Next year, I'm just hoping like some sort of like porn thing. Cause like I feel like Logan, he's just too good to not have some sort of feature or solo or something. That's what I want. Like. Also something trombone, like a solo, or like they do well like being a set week, or like a section feature. That would be awesome.
like saxophones or like trumpet.
I do.
Or clarinet.
Can Joe say like here?
I guess it's not working out. Not because I hate you guys, but because I want you to be comfortable. I'm putting you in an uncomfortable situation. She's at work and probably, how long have these people been here? If you guys ever see a little blip here, just tell me. I thought I set it to where they could be admitted automatically. Here we go. Hi, Annabelle. Oh, she's still connecting. We're gonna wait a second before we get her. Hi, Annabelle. Hello, Annabelle.
If you go work somewhere,
Hello.
Oh, that probably explains a lot. My laptop is muted. There we go. Hi, Annabelle. Sorry. How you doing? Okay. I think it's a good time to start. Welcome to Leadership Lessons. We have a whopping 8 members, which is already more than twice as many as there was yesterday for drum major lessons. Exciting. There are 15 people signed up for the lines. Hopefully there's going to be more people trying out for leadership lessons than just like the little people in this room. This meeting is being recorded so that anyone who still wants to learn what we're learning here can learn another time, because I'm not holding it accountable for them. This is only available at one time. Turn this down just a little bit. Reagan, could you mute yourself, please? Thank you. Where was I? Also, I'm gonna take a picture of you guys for contact tracing. Is that okay?
Yeah.
None of you are gonna sue me for that?
That
Just
was
for
the
your,
last-
just for your info, the tiles in here are about 12 inches. So if you're 6 tiles away from another person, if you're more than 6 tiles away from another person, then you're more than 6 feet.
Cool. I had them sit on purple.
Yeah, if you're sitting on one of the purple pieces of purple tape, then those are just over 6 feet.
Make a face if you want to.
I'm looking into my.
You can see it in my. Wait, take a picture of the people online.
Do you guys think you need to be contact traced?
Take a picture of Reagan.
Okay. So we have 5 leadership lessons starting this week. So there are 4 after this one, and tryouts are the first full week of March. The drum major auditions are on March 20th, and that is what I paid attention to. Okay. Where to go from here? Everybody know everyone's names? Is there anyone who doesn't know anyone's name? Be honest.
I don't know. It's Joe for me. What's that?
Matt, I don't know your name.
You know, sometimes I wouldn't be surprised if people didn't know my name. Okay, I'm gonna grab some water. I got really thirsty yesterday, and I'm getting really thirsty right now. Okay, first thing on our agenda is I'm gonna ask you guys a question, and you guys are gonna answer. And after I ask you the question, and I give you time to think, I'm going to give you more information about how you answer. Is that understandable? So kind of, sort of work with it. Okay. Yeah, she is eating. She's at work. Dedication, guys. Be like Reagan. Be at work and still take lessons. Okay. The question is, what is a leader? Your question is, what is a leader? Keep in mind, there's no such thing as one correct answer, but there might be wrong answers. Depending. I don't think you guys will choose the wrong answers. So I'll just give you a second. We're all going to wait in silence for a minute. Oh, I'm going to walk a lap, and when I get back, we'll off. What did I just get? Back there in time, right? So I think that was a good case. In case anyone was wondering. Okay. We all good? We have our ideas? We're going to start with Reagan. Then we're going to do David, Oscar, Dahlia, Gerald. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm forgetting everyone's names. And it's
That's
very
sad.
like Nathan
Offset.
and Lester. And then we're going to do Annabelle last. You cool with that, Annabelle?
I want some board leaders.
I've been
Shaking my head.
So it's going to be Reagan. I just said his name. Reagan, David, Oscar, Adalia, Gerald, Nathan, Leslie, and then Annabelle. And when you answer, you have to be inspirational. You have to speak in a way that inspires all of us to believe that that is the definition of leadership, and you can't use words like I think. When you're ready, Reagan. Also, if you're in person, You have to stand.
Oh, she can stand up.
You just answered the question, right? Yes.
Pardon?
Yes.
What's the question?
I'm just answering the question. Was the leader right?
Yes. In an inspirational way.
Okay. Okay. A leader is someone who sticks up for the underdog no matter
Done? Cool. So what Reagan said, in case you guys couldn't hear it, is that a leader is a person who sticks up for anyone no matter what. David, when you're ready.
Yeah, stand up, right?
Yes. Your 4 legs.
What a guy.
So a leader is someone who guides everyone in their group, both themselves and everyone in the group, to become successful altogether.
So David says a leader is someone who guides everyone to success, including themselves and the people around them. Thank you, David. We should clap for Reagan too. All right, when you're ready, upstairs.
So a leader is someone who identifies the best characteristics of people in the group and should be looked up to not just as a leader, but as a good person.
So a leader is someone who exemplifies the best characteristics to the group and is someone everyone can look up to. Okay, thank you. That was Oscar, folks. Ooh, Adalia didn't even need prompting.
A leader is someone who can drive other people to be the best that they can be and even better than they are.
A leader is someone who can drive others to be the best that they can be and even more than they are currently. Awesome. Thank you, Adalia. Y'all should clap.
Okay, so a leader is someone who doesn't tell the group what to do, but is someone who guides them and makes sure they follow the rules and make sure they do the best and bring out the best for everyone in the group, including themselves.
Good, Carol. I didn't repeat that because there was a second where I got distracted and I didn't hear all of it.
You want me to repeat it?
No, I just have my moments. It's fine. What's going on? Reagan's just a blur of red. It's fine.
Oh, Reagan died.
We're just doing that. Okay. Nathan.
So a leader is somebody who puts in the extra time and effort and goes out of their way to make themselves and others around them better people.
A leader is a person who goes the extra effort and inspires others to be better. Cool. Thank you. Leslie.
A leader is someone who inspires others to put out their words and actions. Not only that, but they work hard, they take responsibility, and they make the best out of that situation.
Not. I think a new one was making the best out of bad situations. Reagan's driving now, guys.
Just sunglasses.
With shades in style.
Are we on their pocket? Is that why we don't want to do
We're on the
All right, Annabelle, you're up.
A leader is someone who can be the example and set a high standard for everyone around.
A leader is someone who can be an example and set a high standard for everyone around them. Thank you, Annabelle. All right, so all of those are really great answers. None of them are wrong, which is awesome. I didn't expect anything to be wrong, so even better. So you're all correct. One thing, I've been through a few leadership camps throughout the years since I was, in case you didn't know, I was a section leader my junior year in high school, which was last year. I'm drum major this year. So I've been to a couple of leadership camps. The leadership camp organization that leads leadership in the summer is called SASSY. And I've learned a lot from them, and they're really inspirational to listen to. They always talk in a way that makes me go, yeah, let's go do all these things that just came up in my mind right now. It's great. I love it. And one thing, they summarize leadership in one word. Sounds crazy, right? All those things you guys listed is inside of leadership. But there's one word that they say defines it all. Anybody want to take a shot at what that one word is?
Caring. Caring.
Caring? That falls into the word. Passion falls into the word. Teamwork falls into the word. You said Joe?
Yeah.
Joe might fall into the word. I don't know. Together again falls into the word. That's true. I did not think about that. Okay, I think I've boggled your minds enough. The one word that Sassy says defines leadership is action. Action that inspires people. Action that makes them strive to become better. Action that makes them work hard or work past everyone else, goes the extra mile. And all the things you guys listed falls into action. So leadership is based off of action. Leadership is not a position. No matter what a lot of people may think, leadership is not a position. We say we have leaders in our group, we give them titles, but inside of our group, we also have leaders who aren't given leader titles. You can be, if you do not make a leadership position this year, that does not make you not a leader. It just doesn't give you extra responsibilities that the leader title gives you. Does that make sense? Everyone in this room is a leader already. They're going the extra mile. They're taking action to become a better person, to inspire others. And that's amazing. And I'm proud of every single one of you. Every single one of you. I'm not making eye contact with the camera now. I'm going to take a drink of water. Why would you do that? How often do you guys sneeze in your masks?
Sneezing all the time. But I always cover it up as well.
Yeah, I sneezed in my mask once and decided that was the worst decision I ever made in my life. And from then on, it was just like this. Or if I couldn't make it, I just go somewhere else. I give you COVID because I do not want to smell
My
sneeze.
that some kid said he pulled down his mask and just said he didn't even cover it. He just
I'm joking about the last part. I will stay covered if I can't make it. I'll just suffer for the sake of your safety. You're welcome. I'm welcome. You're welcome. I'm gonna make lots of English mistakes while I'm talking to you guys. I'm warning you that now, and we can laugh and make fun of me for it. If you're ever confused, also feel free to ask questions. All right. What's next on my agenda? So let's talk about the extra responsibilities the leadership position gives you. So depending on the position, you have special responsibilities. We'll start with some of the basic ones, the extra ones, and then we'll expand a little more on drum major, but we won't get into that too much because drum major lessons cover that. I'm gonna stand at a different angle. Maybe the camera will see my shirt, at least, instead of just, I don't even think they can see the people. People. There's three people on the camera now. Oh yeah. What was it that we said? The vehicle?
Oh boy.
Oh boy, that was it. Oh boy. It was your freshman year.
Yep. Bless you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Extra leadership positions. So we're going to start with section leader. Section leader is probably the most basic position. Then we'll expand on drill instructor and music instructor. From there, we'll go to librarian. I think, what else? I know they had librarian listed. They're the quartermaster lister, quartermaster, and then we have equipment crew leader and drum majors. So we'll do section leaders, drill instructor, music instructor, librarian, quartermaster, equipment crew, and drum. I'm doing drum majors because drum majors stand on this really high podium before I walk up to them. Talking like it's not me, like a crazy person. I'm grabbing more water. Yeah, don't do that thing again. Next time I will probably just sit it on the floor. I almost did, and I was like, no. Okay, so let's encourage interaction. Who wants to give me section leader responsibilities? As maybe a section leader, maybe some section leaders in here to know that. Leslie?
We make sure the group stays intact.
Intact.
I don't know how to explain it.
Make sure they like each other.
Yeah.
Make sure they like each other. So they settle disputes between the group. David?
And make sure the group is learning everything and bettering.
Make sure the group, oh my God, it worked. Make sure the group is learning everything and bettering themselves. Okay. So you guys are section leaders. Should I let you give section leader responsibilities? I was teasing
Do
you.
you want to let us answer?
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, so always make sure the group always has motivation. So a lot
Motivate
of
the group.
times before rehearsals, I would give them a small speech, and like before football games, I would also give them a speech. Nathan and I both did it to our sections, and give them rewards. So like they did
Rewards.
good. Like I gave them little plastic babies, so that can always keep them pushing through.
Gotta take care of the babies, boys. Adopt them. You want to adopt the babies? You do well. Okay. The rewards. When I was section leader, I gave out stickers to the trombones if they did something well. Mostly it was showing up to sectionals dot books. If you wrote your music or could find a way to put your music into your dot book, I gave you a special sticker, and each sticker had like a special value to it. If you had so many points gathered with the stickers, I would buy you something at Q3. I think Nathan and Seth got enough for it, but I don't remember buying it.
Oh, it's okay.
So I owe you.
Yeah, you still owe me something.
Okay, Oscar has something and Nathan. Go ahead, Oscar.
Let's say it's like a little bit like overall direction of the group, but
Overall,
like not like as a empowered figure, but more like just like we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna help you guys through it.
so it's the direction of the group. It's basically saying, hey, we're doing this, and I'm going to help you through it. I keep repeating things just to make sure. I don't know how well they can hear you guys. I'm doing that to make sure I know what you said and they know what you said. And I'm sorry, Gerald, about that. You were talking, and I was totally following along. And then my mind went to, yeah, Gerald, and I didn't get off, yeah, Gerald, until you stopped talking. Nathan, would you like to add one last thing before I keep
Yeah, I would say that being a section, it's almost like being like a mini teacher, because like you're the one that's like guiding people, you're the one that's assembling stuff, putting stuff together, making sure the group's all organized, making sure everything's staying intact and everything, just making sure everything's flowing, like just everything's flowing through the season.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
So a good way to think about leadership is think about teaching. All of the teachers you ever met are leaders. They might not be the best leaders or the best teachers. I'm sure you can all think of people or teachers who didn't lead well. They're good examples and some not so good examples, but that's okay. We have good leaders and bad leaders in our band too. That's perfectly fine. You're just gonna see it, unfortunately. So a good way to think about it is teaching. That's why for your auditions for leadership, they require you to teach something in front of the band. The way you project yourself is really important. Heard something strange. Okay, I'm sorry.
There was a fall about
Yeah, it was like
Hey, I'm not going insane. So a lot of it's teaching, and that's why last year when they had leadership lessons, all I taught was how to teach. And I'm going to teach you guys how to teach. Trust me, I'll do that. I'll help you get ready for all your auditions. But there's also so much more that's not part of the test. And a lot of like teaching at school and just teaching in general is test prep. And I want to move away from that a little bit. I'm going to teach you some things that apply to like real world practice of being a leader. So with section leader, there's all the things you guys listed, which is awesome. It's not wrong, it's amazing. Inspire others, and teaching is great. There are some other extra responsibilities, like knowing the names of everyone in your section. And it seems like, oh yeah, man, that's kind of obvious. I know the names of everyone in my section. Do you? You have small sections.
I can name them.
I would question the trumpet section and the clarinet section. Do you know the names of everyone, Oscar?
I want to more or less.
You
But
want
I
to
can't
say?
actually like 1%.
I think, well, I'm pretty sure I knew the name of everyone in our band, except for the color guard, some of the percussion, and like 2 of the clarinet players. There are so many clarinets. So it's knowing the names of everyone in your section, getting their numbers, making sure they have your number. Those 2 things are very important, especially in times like this year, where communication is weird and you're not going to have as many opportunities to be with each other and form bonds. Having their number is really great, especially to form bonds when you're in situations like this and you're just like texting them like, hey, how are you doing? And it just really lets them know you care. And asking for someone's number is really weird. It's really awkward. Gerald's like, yeah, man, it's really awkward. What I did whenever I offered someone my number is I would offer them my number first. And then from there, I would ask for their number. Did I say that? The same thing? I meant is I would give them my number first, and then I would ask for theirs. It's kind of like I walk up to someone and go, my name is this. What is your name? It's just a courtesy thing. And it's less creepy like, hey there, beautiful. Can I have your number? See, Gerald. Gerald's cackling. Yeah. That's important. So it's like, how do I explain this? I'm gonna let you recover while I recover. It's as simple as going up to like the first rehearsal, the first time you meet one. Band 101 is a good option. Band 1 wasn't an option last year, but if Band 101 is an option, there's that. There's also freshman camps, walking up to them and being like, hey, I'm your section leader, or I'm your drill instructor, I'm your music instructor, I'm your drum major, I'm your librarian. Whatever position you have, or maybe I'm just a senior in the section. And I'm here to help you. If you ever have any questions, you need any help with like rides, or you just want more guidance on what's going on, here's my number. And if you're a section leader, a good excuse is I want to plan events so you can get to know the guys or everyone, because some sections are predominantly male. One is all male. I was not one girl. Actually, there were 2 girls last week. Never mind. So it's just, I want to introduce you guys to the guys. I would need your number for that. Could I have that too? And you go from there. What are other things? Introducing to the guys to section parties, or just get-togethers. Anything to bond. And that's a really hard thing to learn, to teach, and to just do. I know, especially when I was trying to set up sectionals and when I was trying to set up section parties, it was very annoying because I wanted everyone to be able to come. And you just have to accept that not everyone is going to be able to come. Some people don't even want to come. And it's heartbreaking to know that, but it's true. You just have to find ways to at least make sure they're happy with what they're doing. As long as you don't move the stairs. I'm drinking more water. Do you have any section parties? No.
Exactly.
Where's my section shirt? I paid for one.
But then,
I'm trying to work on it. The thing is, it's hard to get everybody's collection of money right now. I'm trying to just work out. I don't want to buy anything before I have everybody's money.
Really? Because that's smart. but it's also not smart. I order shirts before I get money, so that I end up with all these shirts no one paid for. And I give them away for prizes. We had a lot of extra drum major shirts this year, and the Charmers gave us gift baskets before senior night. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect this. So I went home, I grabbed all the extra shirts, and I tossed them at one of the Charmer leaders and was like, hey, she was in my class. I didn't just hunt her down. It was like, here, thank you. I really appreciated your gift. Take these. And I just gave them to him. So I got off topic. Section parties and section shirts. Section shirts. I don't know why that was hard for me to say. It's fine. It's fine. Section parties. So it's always good to think weekends. Saturdays, I think when it comes to Saturday or Sunday, I think Saturdays are the best because of Sundays are kind of family days and religious days for a lot of families. For my family, than it is for a lot of other families. So it's great to keep that in mind. There are also people's jobs. So section parties are a great thing to get everyone together at once. But if we can't do things like COVID and people just don't feel safe, we can do Zoom meetings, and there are lots of games you can play on Zoom. There's Pictionary. There's, if you have a small enough group, there's Among Us. I've never played Among Us before. Fun fact. I've never downloaded it. I've watched people play. I've watched people play. It's really fun. But there's just always, like, if you can't do section parties, do like little meetings, little like, on Fridays we have video game night on Zoom. Just do things like that. So those are most of the section leaders' responsibilities. Then we go to drill instructor and music instructor. So all of the section leaders, section leader, drill instructor, and music instructor all have similar responsibilities, and they can share in planning sectional section parties. I think sectionals are really important, especially planning between music instructors and drill instructors if you have a lot of leaders, just to make sure they have responsibilities, because music instructors are in charge of the music, which is taught in sectionals, and drill instructors are in charge of the drill, which is also in sectionals. So it's great to have them balance out, like when we're going to have outside rehearsals, when we're going to have inside rehearsals, because you can't just have all of one of the other. One or the other. All of one or the other. That's how you say that. So drill instructor and music instructor share in a lot of the responsibilities, but the focus is mostly learning music, making sure your section has the music, and making sure for drill instructors, making sure your section has their dot books filled out and their coordinate sheets for rehearsal. If they don't, then you have to communicate with the librarian most of the time. It's really important to know the librarian. The librarian is probably one of the most underrated positions. It is so hard, and they need the most help that they don't get. Segue. Hey, I'm grabbing more water. Drink water, guys. Stay hydrated.
Trombone, baritone, dude, that one, we gotta do.
Do we have a new person? No, Annabelle just. Oh.
So we want to combine sections, and we couldn't do sections.
Yeah, you can also combine sectionals. Talking with a bunch of leaders to get intersection communication is really fun too. Especially it builds students' availability to make friends. Especially like, let's say I'm like a shy little freshman in the trombone section. Off top I was, but I know people in the clarinet section. Off top I did. And if they had like a little get together, I might have been a lot more comfortable my freshman year. Like I was around some people that I knew, and I was still getting acquainted with people I didn't know. I got away from the librarian position. Why would I do that? So the librarian is in charge of setting up flip folders, setting up coordinate sheets, making sure everyone has their music, and he's in charge of printing printers. Let's see, well, I've used it a couple of times. But it's especially in times like this, only one person or only select few people can use things like the printer. The librarian was really in charge of that. And in the summer, probably before even fitness camps start, we start putting together flip folders. Because every single person in the band needs a flip folder and needs all the music that goes in it. We have the percussion, all of their stringed instruments, and every single wind instrument in the band needs one. And it's in charge of one single leader. And probably the directors put that together. And then what happens a lot is that we don't realize that the librarian needs help, and we don't realize when the librarian is working. So the librarian and the directors work most of the summer by themselves, and then at the end they're like, we need help. And they recruit, like, they text all the leaders and they're like, the reminder, like, we need help. So whoever the librarian is for next year, if it's one of you in this room, or if it's someone in the remind, or if it's just someone they might randomly assign, that can happen. They can randomly assign leaders to the librarian position, is communicate with them. Ask them, hey, is there anything I can do to help you with flip holders? Because I know those are hard. And it's just always great to empathize with the librarians. It's the hardest position. And they don't get enough credit for what they do. You guys see Nikki? Say hi to her. Tell her she's doing great. She's doing great. And she is. We're having more water.
I know. The God in here. What the? You play very sad in there.
What's next? We have quartermaster. I don't fully know what all of the quartermaster does, but the gist of it is making sure everything's where it needs to be. So the quartermaster will typically be one person, and they typically have one assigned gender or birth, and they use that locker room or that dressing room, whatever you want to call the rooms back there. We use them next year, and they have to recruit help of the opposite birth gender to go into the other one and check, make sure, especially during after games and competitions when we come back, those rooms are a mess. We need people to go back there and check and make sure everything's in order and be honest about it. Also, we like to keep the storage room ship shape up. I did this because you go up the stairs.
Oh.
Did this. The storage room, right over there. A big thing is they'll find things lying on the ground and they'll pick it up and probably put it either in our makeshift lost and found in that room. I don't know what that room is called. Or they'll give it to Mr. Doyle for the Hall of Shame, depends on how they feel. And they're also in charge of making the locker door locked. And if you don't have your locker locked, they could just lock it normally, or they could turn it upside down and lock it that way. It just depends on how they're feeling. They have all the power. I have no idea. That's kind of all I know about the quartermaster. If there's more and I didn't educate you enough, I apologize in the future. If you end up with quartermaster, anyone who might be watching this in the future, too. Then we have equipment crew. Equipment crew is also all of like these big positions, like a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Has anyone in here been? I don't think anything. I want equipment crew.
I've more or less.
What?
I've more or less done equipment crew.
More or less, because Susan's get to see a lot of what the equipment crew does, because they're always have to take those big faces out. Well, they're not like visible representation. It's awkward. It's awkward. Okay, so the equipment crew leader is in charge of recruiting people to join our equipment crew. And they do that just by being like, hey, we need help. We'd like help. Anyone who wants to eat late and is okay with that and wants to do physical labor for free and work while everyone else waits on the bus. It sounds really appealing, right? Being a part of the equipment crew? It sounds great. So much reward. You guys get to eat late.
Nice.
You get to run around and lift things in the dark while everyone else is sitting, waiting on you and complaining about why we're not leaving yet. It's being equipment crew leader and trying to get people to join the equipment crew is really hard. In case that didn't convince you. So they're in charge of gathering a crew, people they can trust, and then they're in charge of talking to the parents about how things go into the, the, the trailers. Yes, Gerald, thank you. Film crew leader into the trailers, where and when. A lot of the band dads already know that because they've been working on it, but a lot of our really awesome band dads have seniors this season, so they're leaving. So it's gonna be fun trying to communicate with that. Gavin was, I don't know how to, because I know he was on his freshman year, I remember, and then sophomore year they assigned him. I think his sophomore year was the first year they had the equipment crew. I don't know why they said SFPs. It's not mine. Like we're not on the same grade. I don't know. Okay. But I have no clue how he did that. His dad was helping out a lot, so I guess they had a lot of communication. But a lot about the COVID crew leader, basically in summary, is recruiting members and making it sound like a good idea. How do you make that sound like a good idea? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy and I was just like, I want to do things. I joined it. I was in it for 3 years. 2 years technically if you don't have this year. Not really. 2 years. I was in it 2 years. So let's say that. And then communicating with band dads about the trailer and being able to work hand in hand. Now we have drum majors. Our last one on the list. The drum majors. Drum majors, of course, we have their special instruments that we're learning to use. The hands, the conducting instruments. They're in charge of a lot of the same things as regular leaders. They're in charge of leading the bands for warm-up in the beginning. They're in charge of making sure that the leaders know everything. So we've talked to you guys about this before, like the order of asking questions, where members ask their section leaders. And if section leaders don't know, they ask each other. And none of those section leaders know, they ask the drum major. And if the drum majors don't know, then they ask the directors. And I don't know if you guys ever talked to drum majors, but sometimes the drum majors know even less than the band members do. It's So they're in charge of leading warm-up, answering questions of leaders. Did you ask a question? I just totally said it.
That was stupid. I said, what is the director doing now?
Sometimes the directors don't know, and we all just sit there like shrugging our meeting.
That's the principal.
I don't know if you guys remember that. It was a parent meeting over the summer on YouTube. And it was a band 101 on YouTube over the summer. And someone asked a question, and Mr. Doyle just said shrug emoji. It's hilarious. Another really important thing about being a drum major is being able to talk to Mr. Doyle. I still struggle with that. Top tip, the way he talks sounds very condescending. And please trust me when I say this, he means almost none of it. I don't think he's aware it sounds that way. He just talks and he's like, he knows how his brain filter works and it sounds fine to him and we hear it and we're like, oh my God, please don't throw something at me. I'll get better, I promise. I don't know if you guys know what RBF is. Mr. Doyle has RBF as well. We'll get to you after class when this isn't recording. It's a bad word. So it's hard to talk to Mr. Doyle. A lot of what I did was asking Mr. Rivers questions. And then he would know, so I'd have to be like, okay, I'll ask Mr. Doyle now. But sometimes Mr. Rivers would give me a base idea of what I needed to know. And then I wouldn't waste I feel like I waste Mr. Doyle's time every time I ask him a question because of the way he works a lot like my mom. So he just says things and they might sound condescending and rude, but he doesn't mean them. And then he has a very fixed way he likes things. And you just have to meet that. If he asks you a question about your behavior, just give him a straight answer and expect to be redirected on why that choice was wrong. And maybe giving it to you, but more hinted at what you should have done. And then you figure it out. So, talking to Mr. Doyle last night. He has headphones on.
Oh, he's just like.
He has headphones on. I keep looking at him. The entire time I'm staring at the office. So we have me, then my warm-up, communication, talking to Mr. Doyle. We have what we like to call drum major dates. It's like section party. But just because there's so few of you, there's like 4 of us at most, we call the little drum major dates. Most of the time we would go out to eat. We had 1, 2, 2 halves. I think we had 2 and 2 halves drum major dates, meaning the halves is not everyone showed up. So we had 2 successful ones with John. All of the successful ones were all 4 of us. And then the not so successful ones were 1 of 3 of us. Yeah, we started with 4 drum majors in March. Yeah, John Daigle. John gets know him. He's nice. I don't know much about him.
I like his car.
Yeah, he has a really cool car, and it was like, there was a lot of work done on it. So I'm glad. I'm also out of water now.
I remember the last time I saw him was the day we were leaving for spring break. And we never came back from spring break. And that was like the last time I actually seen him and talked to him. I was like, hey, but hey,
I'm gonna try and not go deep and dark and depressing about it. Also try not to talk to us about it too much, because we'll go over that some more in the lessons. But it's all the things I told you. It's getting together, especially to work on conducting and give each other feedback. Then there's planning, leadership and drum major lessons. We're doing that. Look at us, being awesome. That's the basics. And making sure that all the leaders know what they need to do and keeping them on that motive. Kind of, sort of. I really respect that. I was more watching people stand in this pose. Stand in this pose because
You always gave for section 12.
I was in charge of giving out chocolate. Yes. I've also carried the buckets in the past. We only did like 1 bucket this year. Well, we used to have 3, and I had a trombone. So I carried 2 in one hand. They were like half full, and 1 in a trombone in the other. It was a really awkward saunter down the hill. And I don't know if you guys remember Samuel LeBrier. Every once in a while, he'd come up and be like, "You crazy person," and like take 1 or 2 of them. And he's like, "Stop doing that." Like nobody else does. And yeah, that's a part of the equipment crew thing as well. The equipment crew also usually handles what goes out on the grid or after. They're also in charge of helping the phone ensemble or the pit setup too. One thing we didn't have to do. But hopefully things will go back to my normal experience. We'll have more of these. Does anyone have questions about another really important thing for all leaders is to make sure that make sure you have like your section really happy and like knowing each other and getting along. One thing we don't talk about as much is we kind of just take this as a given is make sure your leaders are each other, friendly, like each other, or communicate with each other, or just sharing the work equally, and one person is doing more than the others. There were a few problems with that this year, with communication between leaders.
Yeah, me and myself.
Wait, there should be like a whole.
I don't like the question, guys.
Will we have any time to practice any of the marching?
Yes, on the last leader lesson, I'll review the marching stuff you guys will be going over and all the other things. I'm going to teach you guys how to teach before the last lesson, but everything else we'll go over in the last lesson. So I'll have to talk to the directors about what box drills are.
When are
What?
trials?
Tryouts. I know drum major
It's like
tryouts.
March 11th.
Drum major tryouts on March 9th, and leader tryouts on March 11th. I was just about to look that up. Anybody have questions about how the audition process? Yes. You guys know what dressing up nice means? So how does this work? What we like to do for dressing nice is at least business casual. So for ladies, this means you can have a cute blouse and a skirt that goes below the knees. Nice shoes for anyone who doesn't want to wear that. At the very least, it's what I'm wearing. Nice shoes, slacks, and a polo. Ladies can wear nice blouses with the slacks and nice shoes. I'm dressed like this because I teach. I have to dress like this. Just so you guys, in case you guys ever were wondering why I dress like this, it's not because I want to. Oh yeah, this is the fourth Sunday. CTHS education training. I teach band at Creek Middle School this year. I taught it at Wilkie last year. It's fun.
Dude, I'm doing that my senior year.
In like 7 minutes. We can set up the band hall if you want. You okay? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Any more questions about the audition process? It shouldn't be any different as far as I'm aware. Most of it's going to be in person unless you don't feel safe. Then you communicate with the directors about doing things online. So back to like the bare minimum about business casual is this, but if you really want to go out in person, wear a tux, wear like a ball gown. I don't know how uncomfortable it is to sit in a ball gown. Yeah, concert attire is like the formalist of the formal. Any more questions?
Like that one, like I don't think we know the answer to it yet.
Okay.
So like I know last year when we did it, we were like in the band hall, and it was like pretty cramped. So, like when we still do like audition like in the band hall, we're outside. You think?
So it actually says on the itinerary they give you guys is they're gonna try and be outside. Be outside or in large areas as much as possible to you guys. It'll probably be in groups, like on the grid. Probably. They'll probably have you guys do that one. It would make sense. They already don't. So it's more of a comfortable environment. I don't know that. I'm pretty sure the directors decide how many donations there are on as needed basis. They just decide like how many people are good, and then from there they're like how big is their band and how many do we need. Like, they picked 4 this year because we're going to 6A and we're getting a bigger band. So ideally we would have someone in the back and two people on the sides and then the center. And all the people. We really needed that much this year because our always conducted in the back. And especially since we didn't have all 3 of our remaining drum majors, having someone always in the back of the Raphael. You guys ever see Raphael ever again? Thank him. That's how awesome he is. I'm going to go to college with him. Calling him.
That's my boy. Raphael.
Do you want us to help you put up the mental with the Yeah. All right, guys. Go back and sign each other. Let's put up the mental. Online people, thank you for coming. And to the people who watch this in the future, thank you for watching. Bye.